Eric. Oh, look at that beautiful guitar. Oh, get in here. Get in. Welcome. It is long overdue. Look at that finish. My God, this guitar is so beautiful. The charvel's getting new strings. It's getting some Ernie balls. Slinkies. Not my favorite string, but it's the only string I can get in packs at the Long and McQuaid up in Renfrew. And let's do some reading now. Okay, so these are $25 for a pack of 3, and it's like $10 for like one pack. So you save a couple bucks. World's #1 electric guitar string. So they say. But who is they? Okay, for 60 years, Ernie Ball Slinkies have been the premier choice for musicians. I like them because they're cheap. And in 1962, Ernie Ball Strings created a new recipe that would become the voice of rock and roll inspired musicians generations to come. Optimal for every playing style, Ernie Ball Strings are manufactured in Coachella, California factory from fine materials using state-of-the-art winding technology while undergoing strict quality control standards. Iconic slinky tone output 90%, treble 90%, mids 90%, bass 90%. Legendary slinkies for the ultimate playability, precision, with nickel-plated wrapped steel wire, perfect for all music genres and playing elements. Element Shield Plus. Our watertight package now includes a corrosion inhibiting environment for even more protection. Follow us at Ernie. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then on the other side is all the names of every artist that's ever used. They'll just put every name on there, whether it's true or not. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure he's used them at one point. That counts. But keep stuck to this. You guys were stuck in there. And these are 9 to 42s. Hopefully, custom gauge. Okay, super slinky. Custom gauge nickel wound guitar strings made in USA. This is the batch, the model 3223, 9 to 42. So 9, 11, 16, 24, 32, 42. So there might be a discrepancy on the G string, whether it's going to be a 17 on here or a 16. But, okay. Oh, I dropped. Did I drop that? What happened here? Okay, hang on. Oh, okay, that's the whole pack. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put these away before I start doing stupid things. Like opening like 3 packs and like taking like strings out of each pack, and then I'll be all confused. Which string did I take out of which pack? Not saying stuff like that has happened to me before, but sometimes strings can fool you and do tricky things to you like that. Not I'm going to take any responsibility for screwing up. But what I'm saying is, I'm going to get into these guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the one at a time method. Oh, okay, that's what they meant by the fancy packaging thing. Well, I have to get scissors. Don't make me get scissors. So it is Halloween while I'm doing this. So I want to get this done fairly early. I will not be recording today, but what I will be doing, I'm going to start with 42. Number 42. Bingo. Okay. What I've done, I'll show you what I've done. So these strings, oh, look at that guitar. So precious. Let's zoom in on that. Oh, okay, don't look at the dusty parts, but look at that. Look at that. Precious. Okay. Out a bit. Yeah, I'm going to give it a bit of a cleanup too. Especially in underneath there. This guitar is just wow. Wow, just wow. Problem is my cleaning rag. Sitting on my cleaning rag. What I'm going to do is I got to get a couple other rags. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this all changed up, and then I'll show you what I did. But I'm going to put some, hopefully it won't darken it too much. But I like to keep the lubrication on there. I mean, they're already starting to get dirty and stained anyway. That's just the nature of a maple fingerboard. never stay clean for long. I mean, this thing has darkened a little bit since I bought it, and I've only had it a couple months. But this guitar is approximately 3 years old. It was sitting in the Arts Music Store, and I basically chewed on the idea of buying it for at least 3 years. So those strings are probably at least 3 years old. Plus, I bought this in March or May. I can't remember from now to then. So almost 4-year-old strings on this guitar. So I think it was definitely time to change the strings, especially when I get recording my next song, Pinto, which this is the guitar. This will be the debut for this guitar. I can't wait. I can't wait to show you guys, let you guys hear the guitar solo on that. You're gonna like it. It's a cool song. The lyrics are sitting right there under all my Long and McQuaid stuff. They send me this. They always send me this around, like a few months before Christmas. I wonder why they do that, right? Yeah, they know me. They know me. Anyway, I'm gonna get this all cleaned up and ready to go, and then I'm gonna do the bass. So I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I record. If not, possibly Sunday. I start the recording of a new song, and we'll see what happens. All right, there we go. I just got to get the work done because it's like 1 o'clock. I can't believe it's 1 o'clock. The time. This place is a time warp. It really is. It's like get down here. Okay. Oh, it's probably about 10 o'clock. I should be able to get this done, this done, this done. And you look, it's like 1:30. It's like what the hell happens? But anyway, I'm gonna get the strings changed, tuned up, ready to go. I've got the watch you don't lose these guys down like in holes like under the register, stuff like that. What I do with a Floyd guitar, what I normally do is I change the strings and I leave the nut unlocked. I'll put the nut on it there, but I'll leave it unlocked so I can use the tuners. Stretch it, tune it, stretch it, tune it. Because what ends up happening is you just get everything all set, and remember to zero these put these things all center, like right around the middle. Don't leave them all the way down. Don't leave them all the way up. If you want full range, put them screw these so that they go all the way in and go all the way out, and find where the center is. If you don't know where it is, put it there so you have always a lot of fine tuning. Because sometimes you do dive bomb the guitar way the hell out of tune, especially with new strings on it. Speaking from experience. And then you have to unlock the nut just to be able to reset everything. So just, it's a Floyd Rose thing. Don't forget about it. Everybody does it. You could be playing Floyd Rose for 47 years, like I have, and you'll forget every time. You forget every time. It's like you get it all tuned up. It's like, great. Okay. Oh, I got to fine tune the E. It's like it's already all the way in, and you're like, you stupid man. I don't know. Yeah, you guys tell me how many times you've done that. I bet you lost count too. But anyway, what I'm doing is I'm just unraveling here, and the strings will go in my scrap metal pile, and that'll be it. Well, each one I take off, I'll clean the fingerboard a little bit more. I'll oil everything up, and I'm going to put the oil on it with the old strings on it. So 9 to 42. Anything with a Floyd 9 to 42 or lighter. Tell you the truth, stay 9 to 42. I used to use 8s to whatever they were, 8 to like 38, 8 or 8 to 40, whatever or 7. Yeah, 8s. And they even have 7 gauge. Like on a fixed bridge, yes, but on a Floyd, you get too much tremolo effect every time. You get like this weird phasing sound when you pick really hard. It'll actually vibrato because the string is just not stable enough because it's just so light. 9s is as light as I go. If 9s are not light enough for you to play, like you got to, question your setup and stuff like that. For people that do a lot of tapping, like finger tapping, that's where the really ultra light, super hyper light strings kind of help you out. But other than that, for everything else, I would say stick with 9s or more. If you're going to go to 10s, you're going to have to re-intonate all that. Why go to 10? Like the blues guys will go to 10s. Thicker the note, thicker the string. Rock metal guys tend to like 9s. Whatever your preference is. I'm not going to say, well, this is the right string, that's the wrong string. But as a guy who's probably tried every string, every, inexpensive string, anything, I don't know what blue steels are at now. Those I used to love those, but they were like $30 a pack, right? I remember when they came out, they were $16 a pack, and a set of Darios was like $3.99 or something like that. These things were like $2.99. They're now like 3 times the price, 4 times the price, right? But you can get value packs. So I'm not a super picky guy when it comes to strings. Uh, yes, some strings I like better than others, but at the end of the day, a new string sounds better than a really high quality brand dead string that's been on there for whatever length of time it's been on there. So for recording, one of my new investments is going to be stockpiling strings. The reason being is that my goal is to have new strings on every recording. Uh, the problem with that is, especially if you record a lot, it gets expensive, right? So, yeah. So I know what I want for Christmas. I'm going to tell my brother, my sister-in-law, and I was like, don't buy me anything for Christmas. But if you're going to spend money on me, there's only one thing I need: guitar strings, bass strings. I'll write them down. I don't care what brand. Buy the cheapest. Buy as many of the cheapest as you want. Buy one pair, one set each. That's all I want. That or underwear. That's the only two things. Maybe socks. And if it's not those three things, do not buy me anything else for my birthday or Christmas. Don't buy me a Lamborghini. Don't buy me a super yacht. Buy me guitar strings. I need guitar strings, right? You got to have priorities in your life, like except for maybe bacon. You can get me bacon, then the guitar strings. But that might dirty the guitar strings because greasy hands and all. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, I'm going to get this done because I could sit here and just talk about this incredible guitar. It's so good. Like, guys, PRS and Charvel, I think, probably are the two brands that just do quality control so well. Like, there's not a flaw on this guitar. And I looked. I mean, it's just such a really... They're so good. You can't go wrong with them. The only thing I wish it had was, like, reverse headstock, ebony fingerboard, the dinky cutaway on the back, and 24 frets. I'd be happy with that. Everything else, I would. But the thing is I would like to have that as a secondary guitar, but I wouldn't change a thing on this guitar. The new model of this has the dinky body. But they still calling it a San Dimas. I think they're still calling it a San Dimas because it's still 22 frets. Same neck, everything's the same, except for they blacked out the headstock. And I don't know how I feel about that. It looks good, but I find it kind of looks a little cheap. I kind of like the uniformity of the everything. Like that really pops. But Charvel used to have blacked out headstocks too, right? So it's kind of like a little blast from the past. I know what they're doing with the it was the distinction between the Fender headstock and the Charvel was to black it out for a more contemporary look and put the white logo. But I don't know how I feel about it. I find that the simpler aesthetic just works. Like this thing, the guitar, the idea behind this is the hardware isn't to draw your eye. The shape of the guitar is not to draw your eye. What's to draw your eye is this finish, which is just so good. This is a chlorine burst. And they got white pickups, which was on the DK model, which I don't know what they're doing with that. So are they still going to have their 24 fret DK models? Hope so. Hopefully they still keep this color too, because this color is... there's variations of this model they've had for at least since 2000. I don't know if the San Dimas came in 2005 or 2015. I think it's 2005 that they've been making it. So almost 20 years that they've making this model, and there's variations up. Now they've got a custom shop model exactly like this. Everything's the same, except for I think it has a Floyd 1500 instead of 1000. And no, sorry, it has the Godot on it. It doesn't have a locking system. It has the Duncan JB in the bridge, but it has a single coil in the neck, which I'd really like. Problem, they want $7,000 for that. Like, gorgeous guitar, exactly how I'd like it, except for one of the reasons why I bought this over the DK model, which had a full shred and the 59. This has the JB in the 59, right? And you can't go wrong with either. But the dinky body is a little bit more modern looking. It's not like this is a Fender Strat body. That's what it is. This is a Fender Strat neck. The fingerboard is like Jackson Charvel Speed neck. Slightly different from what you get from Fender. But at the end of the day, the San Dimas is the hot rodded Fender, right? It's the one of the original super shredders, like Ibanez RG series, these guys, and Jackson whatever, Jackson Soloist, Jackson Dinky. Jackson and Charvel are kind of joined at the hip, and they're both owned by Fender. But it seems like Charvel just has a little bit better of the quality control thing down, even though they're kind of a lot of the stuff's coming out of the similar factories. Like this is a Mexico made. I don't think it's Indonesia made. I'll have to look at the back, but I'll do that later. It doesn't matter. It's a phenomenal instrument. The fretwork on this thing is just absolutely stale. Like, and it, and of course, playing it as much as I do, like it's kind of like my go-to guitar for the 6 strings. And then I tend to grab this and I grab my 8 string. They tend to be my gravitational guitars, and then the Flying V. I don't play my SGs as much, but I've been playing them for the past almost 20 years. I know what to expect there, right? When I feel like grabbing those, I do, and I use the 61 on the SG61 on the last recording, right? But with this thing here, it's so good. I've only played it live once, but it's kind of like, this is like taking it was like a blues R&B 2-line honky tonk type band that like nothing over 60 BPMs, like not a single song, right? So that was, and no distortion. So it was basically like playing this was like the equivalent of like driving 30 kilometers below the speed limit in it, like a supercar. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, great, you're in the supercar, but you're not going to really see what it does. Like, this guitar needs to be in, like, I want to shred on it like Chris and Patellery. You know what I mean? Like, I just want that. I want Jakey Lee. I want early Eddie Van Halen, early Steve Vai. I want all that stuff, and then with a modern like Mark Holcomb kind of twist to it, even though Mark Holcomb doesn't play Charvel. I'd love to see him with one of these. I think he'd really like it, but he's a PRS guy, and the Charvels and the PRSs, you just can't go wrong with these things. But anyway, that's enough babbling for now. I got to get the job done, and it's not that I'm procrastinating, because I hate changing. One of the reasons why I kind of ditched having a Floyd guitar, which was my Hammer Diablo, was the pain in the ass of changing strings. Back when I used to play 4 nights a week, back in the 90s, at first I was like changing strings every show, 4 nights a week, right? You know how much of a pain in the ass it is. And I was like, okay, I'll do a 4-night run and then I'll change the strings, right? And then I found it was a lot more stable that way. Like, having new strings on your guitar every show is great, but the problem is they got to be so perfectly stretched that when you get on there, the guitar stays on tune. Or you got to be changing the guitar out like retuning the guitar after every song, because they're still stretching. So I'm kind of one of those, okay, I can live with a string long enough. I mainly change them when I record. I don't break strings too often, so I can have strings on a guitar for years. You know what I mean? It's just, okay, yeah, it doesn't sound as good as fresh, bright, lively guitar strings, but ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're not recording with it or playing live, just stock up your strings, so when you do play live or you record, you always have fresh strings to throw on there. You know what I mean? The old, okay, yeah, well, you can still boil the strings and I've done all that stuff. Don't bother. Just don't waste your time. If strings are too expensive for you, just save up. Even bass strings, like all that stuff. I get it; they're expensive, but just save up. Play the strings you have until you save up and buy another pair, and then if you can afford 2 sets. So in my case, if you can find a way to get about $25 to $25 plus tax, you can get 3 sets. Buy those. Oh, but I don't like those. Those are not my favorite. I have to play elixirs that are $38 a pop. 3 sets versus 1 set. Okay, buy the elixirs for your recording. Okay, use these for day-to-day and live playing. Like priorities, guys. If you can't afford the elixirs, I haven't tried the elixirs yet, but I don't look. I tried Blue Steels I remember when Blue Steels came out. I love them; they sound great, but they didn't last any longer than any of the other strings. I've never found a string last longer than. Like, really, you play a 3-hour set list and you're sweating all over the guitar and everything like that. the shininess of the sound is gone after probably about 20 minutes. And then they sound fresh for maybe about 2 or 3 days after that. And then after that, they start to dull out and sound, especially if you're sweating all over them and all that. So if you're not sweating on them, you might get it maybe a week, 2 weeks out of a set of strings still sounding relatively good. It's just they might not have the brightness and the sharpness that you have. Like once you start finding it really hard to do pitch harmonics, then it's time to change your strings. And that could be months. You know what I mean? Yeah, or you feel the tension just going up on them. When your nines start feeling like tens, then it's time to change them. So anyway, I'm going to get to it. There we go. Let's have one last look at it. Let's zoom in on this thing again. Oh, you guys are so lucky to have me. Like, no ego, but you guys are so lucky to have me because I share these beautiful, beautiful guitars with you. And as cool as it looks on camera, it's a little more blue on the camera than it actually is in real life. The chlorine burst has it's not green, but it's a little bit of a tinge. That's probably closer there, but let's zoom right in and see if we can get the color's just a little bit different than, yeah, it's a little bit more green on the like in the transition right here than it comes out on there, but it comes out like this guitar is gorgeous. Look at that. Every angle you look at it, it's a treat. You never see the same thing twice on this thing. It is so good. All right, anyway. Okay, enough bragging and showing off and blah, blah, blah. Now I got to actually do work of get strings changed. All right, there we go.